Somebody said that if you broke, you shouldn't think shit is funny. If you laugh and you get Josh, I keep a Draco with a drummy.
Oh, do better, I'm better. I said it. Do better, I'm better. I said it. Oh, do better, I'm better. I said it. Do better, I'm better. I said it. Oh, do better, I'm better. I said it. Do better, I'm better. I said it. Oh, do better, I'm better. I said it. Do better, I'm better. I said it.
Yo, why she sent this shit no context? Bitch, this ain't no contest. Run my own race. I ain't no rat, this ain't no confess. She turned 50 to 100. Don't tap in, these niggas confess. I turned 50 to 100 bands. Teach that hoe a con. I said before that I don't beef, I'm vegan. Won't stay cause I'm used to leaving. Lactose intolerance, running her fam, so they not used to cheesing. Burgers on the block, bro, let me cook. I know she good in season. If she pop her shit, I pop the Glock. You know I'm used to sleazing.
Oh, do better, I'm better. I said it. Do better, I'm better. I said it. Oh, do better, I'm better. I said it. Do better, I'm better. I said it. Oh, do better, I'm better. I said it. Do better, I'm better. I said it. Oh, do better, I'm better. I said it. Do better, I'm better. I said it.
I don't talk to bitches. Who am I? Bitch, Dr. Doolittle? Get it back in blood. Put them in suits. You think I sue niggas? Said that I'm a op, but here we are. You think I'm cool with you? Bitch, connect the dots. What am I gonna do with it? If it's with me, then it's authentic. Can't. Bad bitch, Ozempic can't. Pockets do the talking. I'm not known for getting loud. I run an operation. If you bark, I'm sending scouts. Hey, don't do this shit for clout. I know what you ain't about.
Oh, do better, I'm better. I said it. Do better, I'm better. I said it. Oh, do better, I'm better. I said it. Do better, I'm better. I said it. Oh, do better, I'm better. I said it. Do better, I'm better. I said it. Oh, do better, I'm better. I said it. Do better, I'm better. I said it.
If you laugh, you getting Josh. I keep a Draco with a drummy. I keep a Draco with a drummy.
I remember way back when I started off as a jit. Dinner days with the Kool-Aid and the Thunderbird getting lit. Mad hoes, it was bad hoes, had to put them all on the list. Knock them all out the park now. When they throw a pitch, I don't miss. Started to know I was him. Different from all of my friends. I see myself in the bins. Never end up in the pen. Wasn't that life I could live. Now I'm too focused on ends. I said I'm too focused on ends. I'm going legit. 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 Look, watch you sling that dope. Fiends like I know that dope. Acting like I ain't know, shit it ain't science though, I was really raised like that, that's why I grind hard, no cap, tell them you can check my stats, everything said all facts, look, I learned quick from the drug game, but I ain't never want to jump in it, I seen fools lose their whole lives cause they ain't use their mind when they in it, my mind learned real quick, watch my steps and I'm winning, got a Model 3 and cocaine seats, roll the windows up cause they tinted, I'm going legit, I'm going legit. 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 I'm going legit.
Y'all know how this goes. I tell you every time, and I'm not going to stop just because the numbers went up. This is a secondhand news story, right? There's a news outlet. You can sue them or you can sue me. I can promise you if you sue me, you just going to get nothing but bills. All right? So that's all I got to say about that. All right, let's begin. Ooh, shit.
Let's get it. Green light, let's get it. Green light, let's get it. Green light, let's get it. I'm the future, I'm in it. Check score, I'm winning. Green light, let's get it. I just win. I'm on 10.
Hey, how y'all doing? As you can see, I cammed up, so let me go ahead and introduce myself.
Hello, it's me. Hello, motherfucker.
And so, anyways, we're going to go ahead and get into the first story. So, y'all check this out.
And then the snow got me.
Ah, shit. I forgot something else. Fuck. Yeah, this is a struggle one. Sorry about that. I always forget to do this. There you go. All right. So, y'all know Dolly Parton died and Tim Curry. I'm tripping off of that. God dang. You keep missing, Death. You keep missing. Why Dolly Parton meant so much to Black communities, Black stars remember a one-of-a-kind icon. Now, this headline feels a little bit like bait because Black folks did not need a special meeting to decide we like Dolly Parton. We have known Dolly was good people. Following her death at 80, Black entertainers and public figures are remembering a woman whose impact went far beyond country music's rhinestones and having enough hair to interfere with nearby Wi-Fi. I mean, her hair was big. I'm telling you, big hair, I never forget, okay? But at least it slimmed down. Not her, but the hair. The hair used to scare the shit out of me. Anyways, anybody who had big hair. When Whitney Houston turned Dolly's I Will Always Love You, I did not realize that, into one of the greatest vocal performances ever recorded, Dolly reportedly earned around $10 million in royalties. She used part of that money to purchase a commercial complex in a predominantly Black Nashville neighborhood and affectionately called it the house that Whitney built. That is how you acknowledge the Black woman who elevated your song with respect, gratitude, and reinvestment. Not a lawsuit and a suspicious songwriting credit. Dolly also supported Black Lives Matter, donated uniforms and instruments to schools, advocated for people living with HIV and AIDS when doing it was so unpopular, and helped children develop a love of reading through her Imagination Library. The program has distributed more than 300 million books, including accessible editions for children who are blind or visually impaired. She also helped fund research connection to Moderna COVID-19 vaccines. The complete list of Black celebrities and public figures honoring her include Beyonce, Don King, the Jackson family, Jill Scott, Barack Obama, Dionne Warwick, Yvette Nicole Brown. I gotta go call my homegirl and ask her if she was named after her now. Viola Davis, Coleman Domingo, Oprah Winfrey, Keke Palmer, Kamala Harris, Tia Mowry, Octavia. Is this Kamala Harris, Tia Mowry, Octavia Spencer, and Diana Ross. Beyonce called Dolly a North Star. Jill Scott celebrated her in sincerity, humor, business success, and unabashed foxiness. Viola Davis honored her authenticity and compassion, while Yvette Nicole Brown described Dolly as her blueprint for using fame and wealth to help others. I love to hear that. And that is why Dolly is connected with the Black communities. She did not merely talk about kindness while waiting for applause. She put money, time, and action behind it, quietly and consistently, and without turning every good deed into a photo opportunity. Rest well, Dolly. The wigs were high, but apparently the standards were even higher. You will definitely be missed. God dang it, they missed the man. We lost two 80-year-olds this week, and it wasn't the right one. Gosh dang it. Once again, the aim. We need to work on the aim. But anyways, if you like what I'm doing, or if you don't like what I'm doing, you have some suggestions, please hit me up in the comments in the down there and let me know. If you just want to complain and shit, like the dumbass that sat up there and said, how do I know the scripture isn't the scripture in the Bible, when I sat up there and told you which scriptures to go to? And if you so want to know, you could go look it up. Yeah, I deleted that shit because it was ignorant as hell. You obviously didn't watch the whole thing, you dumb bitch. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and move on to my commercial. And if you like what I'm doing, if you don't like what I'm doing, let me know. And also, please like, share, subscribe. I'm getting a lot of people, and I just want to thank all of y'all, because I think last time I looked, I was at 553, not 553, 535, and now I'm up here, and I'm gonna have to be up here on Sunday too, because we hit 200s, and my promise was every time we hit 100, I'm gonna cam up. So anyways, let me go ahead and once again ask y'all to please subscribe. There she go. And here's my commercial, and I'll be right back.
It's just me and the fam. It's just me and the fam. It's just me and the fam. It's just me and the. It's just me and the fam. Yeah, yeah. It's just me and the fam. See my little Tay, that's my girl, that's my mascot. The ones go for hours and some hours till we pass out. Stay inside the house, turned up with the racks out. Stay inside the house, turn.
All right, so we back. What's next for Karmelo Anthony after new trial is denied? Well, let's find out, because I sure wanted to know. Karmelo Anthony's legal fight is not over, but the road just became longer and considerably steeper. Anthony, now 19, was convicted of unalivement in June and sentenced to 35 years, even though Case and Allison only has 10 in prison for fatally, 17-year-old Austin Metcalf. During a Texas high school track meet in April 2025. Anthony maintained that he acted in self-defense after Metcalf put his hands on him, but the jury rejected that argument. His new attorneys requested another trial, arguing that an off-the-record gentleman's agreement between prosecutors and the original defense team affected Anthony's decision not to testify. That agreement was supposed to keep damaging information about both teenagers' past behavior away from the jury. The defense also argued that the restrictions on the courtroom access violated Anthony's right to a public trial. I did not know it was private. Adding another layer to this legal lasagna. That sounds good, but not now. Original trial judge John Roach, horrible name, was removed from the post-trial proceedings after publicly saying the jury got it right, because apparently publicly co-signing the verdict you oversaw is not the ideal way to demonstrate impartiality, which we all know he didn't have. Nevertheless, placement judge Michael Chitty, you have a shitty name, denied the new trial request in a brief order, leaving Anthony's conviction and 35-year sentence intact. His attorneys will now take the case to the Texas Fifth Court of Appeals in Dallas. They are expected to raise the same concerns about courtroom access, Anthony's decision not to testify, and alleged trial errors. I hope this goes to the Supreme Court, but not this one. Ugh. I hope by the time he hits the 10 years that Case and Allison was given of the same crime, same age range, that they dismiss all of this shit and go ahead and say time served for, manslaughter and self-defense. That's all I can say. An appellate hearing may not happen until 2027, like I said. So this was a serious loss, but not the final legal door. Anthony's lawyers say they intend to pursue every lawful remedy available. The next question is whether the appeals court considers these issues harmless mistakes or serious enough to overturn the conviction. I don't know what to say, but I know that damn shit right there was messed up. But moving on, because I still have another update. Where's my update thing? I really need to fix these damn hotkeys. I promise you I need to fix that. There you go. So now the governor is demanding investigation as the deadline to restore power in Gary nears. I'm sorry, but I don't understand why there's a deadline. I need this shit to have happened like yesterday, in my opinion. Nearly 2 weeks after violent storms ripped through northwestern Indiana, thousands of residents, most of them in majority black Gary, were still waiting for the basic luxury of flipping a switch and having something happen. The August 11th storms brought winds reaching 99 miles per hour, damaged hundreds of utility poles, and initially knocked out power to more than 374,000 NIPSCO customers. I'm telling you, okay, now that I remember, when Hurricane Laura hit Louisiana, we had folks coming from out of the state to help. What the hell's going on with Gary? That's what I need to know. I mean, we had folks from Arkansas. I think we even had people from California coming to help. I mean, we only went through like maybe a week, and that was horrible. I had to throw everything away. I had a T-bone steak finely seasoned, and that shit went down. By Monday, roughly 9,600 customers were still without electricity, with the majority located in Gary. NIPSCO promised the city would be substantially restored by 11:59 p.m. Tuesday, just as students were returning to school. Indiana Governor Mike Braun has now requested a formal investigation into NIPSCO's preparation and response. Where is mutual aid? He wants regulators to determine whether the utility property trimmed trees, maintained its right-of-way, protected its infrastructure, and actually spent ratepayer-approved reliability money as promised. So you looking for a scandal? Dude, I don't care about the scandal. Try to get some people. Mutual aid, motherfucker. Because when customers miss one payment, the utility company can locate the shutdown button with Olympic speed. But after collecting some of Indiana's highest electricity rates, suddenly everybody needs 2 weeks, 600 workers, and a treasure map to find Gary. Lord have mercy. I think everybody knows where Gary is. Residents have endured spoiled food, closed businesses, dead phones, disrupted medical equipment, and dangerous heats. Proposed class action lawsuit also accuses NIPSCO of neglecting vegetation and equipment maintenance. NIPSCO denies those allegations and says its vegetation management spending has doubled since 2016. So you telling me the trees doubled, or are you saying the trees are on steroids? Because how did that double? The storm was extraordinary, and the crews performing dangerous repairs deserve credit. But the investigation is focused on management. Was this entire disaster avoidable, or did years of inadequate preparation make a terrible storm even worse? Gary residents have already paid their bills. Now they deserve power and some straight answers, for real. Because honestly, in my opinion, y'all need to, I think every city, every town, whatever government has a government needs to be paranoid as fuck. And when I say paranoid, I need them to think of every single thing before, saying, okay, we got enough money for everything. I mean, I need y'all to actually be wondering, do we have enough stuff? Did we, give me a second here. There you go. Did we have everything prepared for shit to go down? If not, I mean, seriously, just act like everything could happen where you are. Even if you in an area that doesn't have water, imagine what would happen if a hurricane hit. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and move on because now we're getting into headlines. So it's a mess. Let me see here now. Okay, here we go. So, black father of 9 found hanging in North Carolina as police say everything is on the table. And y'all telling me we're not being paranoid? What the fuck? So authorities in Roanoke Rapids, North Carolina are investigating the death of 38-year-old Demetrius Eugene Fleming, a black father of 9 who was found hanging inside a home on Roanoke Avenue Friday. Police Chief Lawrence Wiggins said Fleming was already dead when emergency responders arrived. Investigators have not identified the type of ligature involved, and most importantly, they have not classified his death as a self-deletion, a homicide, or accident. Let's see here now. Wiggins is calling this an open and equivocal death investigation, meaning officials have not reached a conclusion or ruled anything out. In his words, everything is on the table. Police say the initial 911 call described a possible self-deletion, but it came from someone who was reportedly close to Fleming and was not actually at the scene. That makes a full investigation, not assumption, based on the caller's description, especially important. For Black communities, the discovery of a Black person hanging carries a historical terror that cannot simply be separated from the circumstances. And honestly, there's too many of them happening this year. What the fuck is this? Hanging season? That does not prove what happened here, but it's absolutely explains why the public wants transparency, evidence, and a serious investigation before authorities attach a convenient label to his death. Fleming's family remembers him as a devoted father who constantly spoke about his children, a man of faith, and a gifted musician whose talents remain central to his church life. He leaves behind his wife, parents, 7 siblings, and 9 children. That family believed in a lot of kids. Right now, there are more questions than answers until police and medical examiners finish their work. Speculation should not become fact, but neither should uncomfortable questions be dismissed. I really hope. Nope, it can't be that dude. That dude is older. Okay, good. I almost freaked out because I thought it was a friend of mine because she has 9 kids, but we're the same age, so that's not him. All right, moving on because we're still in the headlines. Black woman who says she unalived her partner in self-defense avoids prison. I mean, what the hell is going on? What the hell happened between Sunday and Wednesday? Shit. Keisha Golden, a Chicago woman who said she fatally stabbed her partner while protecting herself and her unborn child, will avoid prison after accepting a plea agreement. Golden was 8 months pregnant in October 2022 when Calvin Sidney, the father of her child, died from a wound that severed an artery in his leg. Prosecutors initially charged Golden with first-degree unalivement murder, which could have placed her in prison for at least 20 years. Why would somebody do that in their leg, though? Honestly, think about that. The prosecution claimed Sidney pushed Golden onto a counter before relatives separated them, and that Golden later followed him into a bedroom and, him while he was lying down. Why again would she do that in his leg, though? Her attorneys gave a much different account, saying Sidney repeatedly slammed her against the countertop and she grabbed a knife to defend herself. This claim did not emerge from thin air. Golden had obtained a protective order after accusing Sidney of punching her in the face. Motherfucker, there should be a restraining order. There should be like all kinds of shit on this motherfucker. He should be in jail. And more than 50 DV calls reportedly came from their home. 50. At that point, the warning signs were no longer signs. They were a billboard with flashing lights. Good grief. As my mother would say, good googly moogly. Golden, who had no previous criminal record, pleaded guilty to involuntary manslaughter and received 24 months of probation. That ain't bad. And then later try and get that expunged. She said she accepted the deal so she could remain home and raise their daughter, who has already lost her father. Good deal. Her attorneys called the decision rational, but not just. Although Golden will not be incarcerated, she now has a felony conviction that could limit her access to employment, housing, which naturally makes raising that child so much easier. Her legal team plans to ask Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker for a pardon. I hope he gives it to her for real. Shit. That's a beautiful little girl, and that's a beautiful woman. I don't think they should have to deal with that shit. But going on, because someone else we done lost apparently. I mean, we lost 2 famous 80-year-olds, and it wasn't the right one. Family of 23-year-old Jaque Rabon sues, I hope I said that name right, California deputies after fatal pew-pew. The family of 23-year-old Jaque Rabon has filed a legal lawsuit accusing San Bernardino County Sheriff's deputy of using excessive force when they shot and unalived him in a Riverside shopping center parking lot. On January 22nd, deputies from the department's Specialized Enforcement Division were attempting to arrest Rabon on a felony no-bail warrant. Body camera footage released by the department shows him running from deputies before they opened fire. Why would you do? Can y'all tase people, please, instead of taking people out? That would be nice. That would be humane. Authorities say they believe Rabon was armed because he appeared to manipulate or reach toward a black bag around his body while fleeing. However, no weapon was found on him. Jackasses. The family's attorney, Dale Gallipo, argues that merely reaching toward a bag did not justify unaliving an unarmed man. Give me a second. I need to drink something. All right. The lawsuit also alleges the deputies continued pew-pewing after Rabon after he had fallen. Man, that's basically kicking a dude when they're down, you jackasses. So once again, we arrive at the troubling legal question. Is believing somebody might have a weapon enough to use deadly force before confirming that a weapon actually exists? Because a black bag is not automatically a firearm, and suspicion is not supposed to become an instant death sentence. Seriously. Rabon's mother, Taisha Moody, says the lawsuit is about accountability, not money. She described her son as generous and a major source of support for his family, emphasizing that no financial award could bring him back. The San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department has declined to comment while the case remains under investigation. Because Rabon was unarmed, the California Department of Justice is conducting a separate review to determine whether the deputies could face liability. The fucked up word is could. The civil lawsuit and state investigation will now proceed independently. That's fucked up. But moving on, here come these jackasses. I really hate this country at this point. I really do. So ICE already shocks American gloves can't hide their fingerprints. The Department of Homeland Security reportedly plans to spend $20 million equipping ICE with electric shock gloves. Why? They're going to touch everybody. They are going to just touch every fucking body. Because apparently somebody looked at this agency and concluded, you know what's missing? Wearable electrocution. I hope they electrocute them damn selves. In an opinion piece, Detroit NAACP President Reverend Dr. Wendell Anthony argues that ICE has already demonstrated too little accountability to be trusted with another force device. ICE agents are hardly walking around defenseless. The article complete inventory includes 9mm semi-automatic handguns, including SIG Sauer P320s and Glock 19s. Good God. Long guns, rifles, shotguns, M4 carbines, and Remington 870 shotguns. What the fuck? They're not going against the Incredible Hulk. What the fuck? Specialized tactical weapons, including the SIG MPX, tasers, pepper spray, tear gas, and other chemical munitions. So that's chemical warfare right there. Body armor capable of stopping handguns and rifle rounds. So now they're invincible. Gas masks and riot gear. And people wonder why I went and bought a mask. Yes, I have one in my room. I will deposit it in my car. And whenever I have to go near government. Shit. And I'm a veteran. So electric gloves are not filling a defensive gap. They're adding another way to inflict pain to an arsenal already large enough to invade a small country. Anthony also points to pew-pews, deaths in ICE custody, and hundreds of SA complaints from detention facilities as evidence that the agency's most urgent need is oversight, not rechargeable knuckles. Just like the fucking administration. Instead of shock gloves, he calls for the complete following list of reforms. Truth and transparency. They don't know how to do that. Better training for all agents. They don't have time for that. Disqualifying domestic abusers, violent offenders, and officers previously fired or reassigned for abuse. They don't know how to do that. Mandatory cultural awareness and sensitivity training. What's that? Independent investigation whenever agents use lethal or non-lethal force. Don't you know these motherfuckers don't know what the word accountability means all the way to the top orangutan? The piece also condemns the Drumpf administration for claiming certain immigrants are poisoning the blood. Yeah. Certain ones, like the jackass from Germany who somehow got here and then opened a brothel, and then his fucking son, and then we became, and then they changed their name to Trump from Drumpf. Yeah, that immigrant right there. Wow. And then the immigrant who gave birth. Shit. Because that motherfucker, he is first generation on his mother's side, y'all. I'm just saying. Certain immigrants are so I proved that point while welcoming thousands of jackasses from South Africa. Look, I've met a few of these motherfuckers. They're jackasses. I'm serious. Because apparently immigration becomes less frightening when the South Africans, okay, when the applicants arrive pre-approved by a paint swatch chart. Anthony is urging Congress, the courts, corporations, and faith leaders to oppose the proposal. His warning is simple. A weapon introduced against immigrants today can easily be turned against peaceful protesters, and it will tomorrow. Electric gloves will not conceal ICE's existing record. They may only add a few more fingerprints. And some of them motherfuckers sound like they are immigrants for real. I heard a Hispanic dude questioning another Hispanic dude, and his fucking accent was thicker than the one he was questioning. How does that work? Make it make sense, please. Moving on. Black leaders push back at Supreme Court, which is basically stacked against everybody who has humanity, clears path for Drumpf's damn, I forgot to fuck that name up. Mail voting order. This bitch. The Supreme Court has lifted one legal barrier blocking Drumpf's plans to impose new restrictions on mail-in voting before the 2026 midterms. The proposed rules would require states to give the Postal Service lists of eligible mail voters and use specially bar-coded ballot envelopes. This is why I'm going early in person. The Postal Service could refuse to deliver ballots for states that do not comply. I'm trying to figure out if I can take a picture as proof so nobody goes behind me and tries to change my fucking vote. That's all I'm trying to figure out. Now, let us be precise. The court did not declare the policy constitutional. Its decision was procedural, finding that the state's earlier challenge came too soon. Additional court orders and newly filed lawsuits could still prevent the plan from taking effect. Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson dissented, warning that changing election procedures while states are already preparing ballots could create confusion and chaos. House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries and other Black leaders argued that requirements threaten voting access, particularly for Black voters, senior citizens, disabled people, and communities that rely heavily on voting by mail. Drumpf calls it election security, even though he fucking votes by mail. Critics call it in federal interference in elections traditionally administered by states. And nothing says protecting democracy quite like redesigning ballot systems weeks before voting begins and threatening not to deliver ballots that failed the federal dress code. A coalition of Democratic-led states has already filed a new lawsuit, so the policy has cleaner path, but it is not yet across the finish line, and neither is the legal fight. So fuck. That pissed me off too, for real, when I heard about that shit. But we are definitely not done. This one hit me and I didn't know what the fuck to do about it, but shit, it's in there, so I'm reporting it. J. Farrell Doss, Trey Reed exposing Ben Crump and failed self-deletion attempts. What the fuck? That was a lot in that sentence. An opinion column by J. Farrell Doss argues that competing political narratives surround Trey Reed's death have overshadowed a serious crisis: the rising self-deletion rates among Black youth. Are you sure it's self-deletion is my question. 21-year-old Reed was found hanging from a tree at Delta State University in September 2025. Mississippi medical examiners ruled his death a self-deletion and no injuries indicating an assault. However, the location and Mississippi's history of racial terror understandably led Reed's family and civil rights advocates to seek an independent investigation. Attorney Ben Crump promised answers, and Colin Kaepernick's organization funded a second autopsy. But nearly a year later, Reed's family told the Mississippi Free Press that Crump has stopped returning their calls and never provided the final independent autopsy report. What the fuck? Y'all should have been reported this shit. The family also disclosed previous unreported evidence. Reed allegedly texted his girlfriend the night before his death saying he intended to hang himself. Relatives said those messages also triggered an earlier self-deletion attempt. Doss argues that some on the left rushed towards a lynching narrative without evidence, while some on the right became so focused on attacking Crump that they ignored Reed's apparent mental health struggle. And that is the central point. This should not become political entertainment. Reed's family deserves transparency from every official and advocate who promised it. But Black self-deletion also deserves the same urgency we bring to suspected racial violence. If we only recognize a crisis when it supports our preferred argument, then we are not protecting Black lives. We are selecting which Black pain gets our attention. My whole thing is there's been a whole lot of these hangings. That's my situation. I just want to know, is it all self-deletion or what the fuck is what I'm trying to say? So moving on to something a little tamer though, because shit, this got dark. This got super, super fucking dark. Let me keep it moving. Two Black progressives made history Tuesday night. Neither waited for permission. So here's something you can kind of uplift. Two Black progressive candidates won major races Tuesday night without waiting for party establishments or wealth donors to give them permission. In Georgia, Everton Blair defeated Marcy, I hope that's Marcy, Scott, 53-47 in the special election for late Congressman David Scott's seat. Blair, a former Gwinnett County School Board chairman, becomes the first openly gay man elected to Congress from Georgia. Okay. He will serve only the remaining... Okay, this is fucked up. Why? He will serve only the remaining months of Scott's term since neither runoff candidate is running for the full term beginning in January. Why aren't you? Maybe it's just a test run. Maybe it's just a test run. Maybe he's going to go for something bigger. Still, Blair's victory immediately adds another Democrat to a narrowly divided House. I stopped and paused because I wanted to see what he looked like, and I was really hoping he didn't look stereotypical. I don't know. Meanwhile, Oklahoma nurse and Democratic socialist Nikayla, I hope I said that right, Nikayla Jasmine Thomas won the Democratic nomination for U.S. Senate, defeating attorney Jim Priest, approximately 59-41. They were not joking with you. Thomas accomplished that despite a staggering financial disadvantage. Her campaign reportedly had only $455 available in early August. Won't he do it? While Priest had roughly $56,000. Apparently, voters did not receive the memo explaining that the candidate with the largest bank account is supposed to win. That's a lie. The Thomas now faces Republican Congressman Kevin Hern. I hope he loses in November. Oklahoma heavily favors Republicans, so let us be honest. That general election will be an uphill climb wearing ankle weights, but winning the nomination places a working class Black progressive voice on a nationwide ballot. She is yellow. Do I know that girl? Anyways, neither candidate followed the traditional wait your turn, raise millions, and ask the establishment nicely formula. They organized, ran, and won, and that alone redraws what political possibility can look like in the South. Either way, I really hope they freaking win. And I especially hope he wins and goes back. I don't know what the fuck is going on. It sounds like they're just going for the experience, but I hope he definitely comes back. Her, I don't know. I really don't know because she reminds me of someone, and I have a bad past with colorism, and I'm trying to come to terms with that shit. Okay. So, anyways, that's it for the headlines. We're about to move on into I don't know news, because this one I really don't know, but it sounds pretty good. So let's check it out. Where's my I don't know? I really gotta get. And once again, thank y'all for pushing my numbers up. I did not expect to see that shit. I didn't think I was ever gonna hit 500, but now I'm feeling optimistic, and maybe I'll hit 1,000, and that's where I want to stop. Because honestly, too many people scare the shit out of me. I'm so not joking. So, anyways, let me go ahead and do my my I don't know news, because I don't know where this belongs, but shit, I'm gonna report it.
What the hell? Oh my God, no way.
So 21 years strong. Meet the black family that just set the record for oldest living siblings. That's a nice picture. A black family from Hattiesburg, Mississippi has officially entered the Guinness World Records with 8 living siblings whose combined ages have surpassed 721 years. Yes, 721 years. This family has collectively survived segregation, several wars, countless presidents, disco, dial-up internet, and every single person who promised the world would end before now. Man, that shit fucked me up in 2012. I'm just saying. The complete sibling lineup is Nathaniel Davis, 97, Minnie Merle Davis, 96, twins Eddie Mae Hood and Edis Davis, both 93, Lonnie Lee Davis, 91, Mildred Calbert, 89, Thomas Emmanuel Davis, 82, and Dolores Goings, 80. Man, wow. Guinness officially measured their combined age at 721 years and 282 days on February 20th, 2026. So that means it's even older now. Since several birthdays had occurred since then, that total is still climbing. The siblings were raised near William Carey University by parents who married in 1926. Good grief. All 8 graduated from DePriest Consolidated High School, Forest County's first consolidated school for black students. What the hell is a consolidated school? Several later served in the military, and many remained active in their communities. Well, that's good to hear. They credit their longevity and closeness to faith, discipline, education, shared responsibilities, and staying connected even when they disagree. Nathaniel explained that they have arguments like every other family, but they remain together. And apparently that is the secret. Love each other, help the community, tend the garden, handle your responsibilities, and do not let a family argument become a 47-part Facebook documentary. Please don't. Their niece, Deborah Hood, began the Guinness application process in February, but the siblings say their record is only one part of the legacy their parents started a century ago. God dang, only they could say that shit. 8 black siblings, more than 7 centuries of life, and enough family history to settle every argument with baby, I was there. God dang, that's kind of true. Well, that is it for that I don't know news, because, God dang it. I hate when I do that. But now I know one of my hotkeys, because I accidentally hit that button. But anyways, that is it for that. We're about to go ahead into news you need to use, because for real, if you don't use it, you might get your ass whooped. Let me see here now. Where is it? News you need to use. There it is. There it is. There you go.
Message.
Yeah, I put that up there because people say they can't hear, so I have to use my mic. Hey, girl, how you doing? All right, so household items that could increase your cancer risk. This is news you need to use. Damn it, I said what I said. So before anybody panics and throws the entire house into the street, exposure to one of these products does not mean you will develop cancer. Evidence varies considerably, and risk depends on the specific chemical dose, frequency, and length of exposure. Here is the article's complete list. Number one, cleaning products. Strongly scented cleaners, disinfectant sprays, and air fresheners may release volatile organic compounds or VOCs. Choose fragrance-free options and ventilate while cleaning. I'm glad I did that shit the other day because I sprayed some bleach shit on the floor. Batteries. Older leaking batteries can expose you to metals such as cadmium and lead. Do not touch leaking materials and use an approved battery recycling site. I usually just throw the shit in the trash, so now I know. Number three, paint. Some paint releases VOCs during and after application. Select low or no VOC paint, open windows, use fans, and take fresh air breaks. Scented candles. Oh, shit. Paraffin wax and synthetic fragrances can release indoor pollutants. Use soy or beeswax candles, ventilate the room, and do not burn them constantly like you are summoning affordable rent, please. 5. Plastic containers and bottles. Heat can increase chemical migration from certain plastics. Reheating food in glass, ceramic, or stainless steel. Okay. In other words, please don't put the stainless steel in the microwave. Have some sense. Not the takeout container that has survived 6 microwave battles. Okay, I understand what they're saying. In other words, please don't recycle the motherfuckers and then use them with the mini nuclear plant right there. Beauty products. Some cosmetics, dyes, and chemical straighteners contain ingredients under health scrutiny. Read labels and reduce unnecessary harsh treatments. I don't perm my hair no more. Number 7, nonstick cookware. Older, overheated, chipped, or scratched coatings are primary concern. Replace damaged pans and consider stainless steel, cast iron, I got that, or ceramic. Number 8, mold and mildew is clearly associated with respiratory problems. Claims about ordinary household mold directly causing cancer are much less certain. Fix leaks, control moisture, and remove visible growth safely, please. If I see it, I'll probably bring a whole cleaning crew. Yeah, I mean hazmat outfits is what I'm saying. I mean the whole floor, you can't see it. There's just nothing but suds. Number 9, plastic cutting boards. Oh shit, I got one. Worn boards can shed microplastics, although their long-term cancer impact remains under study. Replace heavily scratched boards or switch to wood or bamboo. But see, with wood and bamboo, you got to be careful when you're cleaning those, because especially if you have blood on that bitch. Yeah. Mattresses. I need a new one anyway. Some contain chemical retardants, but evidence linking normal mattress use to cancer is limited and mixed. Ask your manufacturer what materials they use when it is time to replace yours. The practical lesson is exposure reduction, not fear. Ventilate, avoid overheating plastics and coatings, replace damaged items, dispose of chemicals properly, and do not bankrupt yourself replacing everything overnight. Gradually, just gradually. You're not about to get cancer just yet, okay? And that is it for news you can use. We're now, as you can see my melanated self. I promised every time I hit I was gonna cam up. I done hit twice on 100. I'm at 530 something, so here I am. Oh boy, I gotta do this again on Sunday. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and get to my segment I like to call People Terrorizing Black Folks. Okay, and this could be anybody. If you're terrorizing us, you could be black and you're terrorizing us. Anyways, here we go. Come on, god dang it. Ooh, tart. So North Carolina makes voting more difficult for HBCU students again. North Carolina election officials have again rejected requests for an early voting location on the campus of North Carolina A&T, the nation's largest HBCU. I have never heard of that school. Students at A&T and nearby UNC Greensboro asked officials to restore campus voting access for November's midterm election. Instead, the Republican-controlled State Board of Elections approved a plan excluding both universities. You know what that means, right? That means a lot of van trips, y'all. A lot of van trips. Let's do some carpooling, god dang it. The nearest early voting option, Union Square, is roughly a 30-minute walk from either campus. Students can still vote there at other county locations or at their assigned precinct on election day. But those alternatives create additional barriers for students juggling classes and jobs, particularly those without cars, reliable transportation, or extra time. Officials have cited parking, previous turnout, and the fact that campuses traditionally receive early voting sites during presidential, not midterm elections. But the county approved 17 locations, including a new site in mostly Republican rural Stokesdale, while somehow remaining unable to locate sufficient democracy on two large urban campuses. Interesting how voting access becomes a precious, limited natural resource whenever young Black voters ask for some. Students previously sued over the campus exclusion during the primary, but a federal judge declined to intervene shortly before voting began. Now, after months of organizing and attending board meetings, they have been rejected again. North Carolina A&T students helped launch the Greensboro sit-ins in 1960 and later fought efforts to divide their congregational district through gerrymandering. So officials may have removed their convenient polling place, but they chose the wrong campus if they expect the students to quietly disappear. The ballot remains available. Officials have simply added more obstacles between those students and the box. Yeah, pretty much. Pause. Anyways, that is it for that story. We're going to keep moving. Yes, I said pause because god dang it, you never know who the hell's in the crowd. Moving on back to Karmelo, this jackass. There's a reason why I called him a jackass, okay? You didn't have to attack all of us, motherfucker. Shit. Jeff Metcalf refuses to apologize for racism in new interview after judge denies Karmelo Anthony's new trial. Jeff Metcalf, whose 17-year-old son Austin was fatally, by Karmelo Anthony, says he has forgiven Anthony, but refuses to apologize for racist comments he made afterwards. So you really didn't, jackass. In a recent interview, Metcalf said no verdict could provide justice because his family received a life sentence without Austin. The grief is real, permanent, and understandable. What grief does not explain away is Metcalf in referring to Anthony as a watermelon felon during a podcast interview and making broader remarks about Black people. Yet Metcalf insists the other side made the case about race. Sir, you cannot throw a watermelon into the conversation and then act confused when everybody notices the racism, you dumbass. The racial hand grenade did not roll into the room by itself. The article is an opinion column, and it argues that people can debate Anthony's self-defense claim, conviction, and 35-year sentence without pretending race never influenced the public reaction. Once again, Case and Allison, same age, same situation, different color, 10 years in prison. Anthony is Black. Austin was white. And the case attracted racial harassment targeting both families. The column also cites an unverified viral post from someone claiming to be a Texas Roadhouse employee who threatened racial retaliation against Black customers because of the Anthony case. I will tell you more about that later. Anthony's request for a new trial has been denied, but his appeal continues. Jeff Metcalf deserves compassion as a father who lost his child. Yeah, but compassion does not require pretending explicit racist language is somehow race neutral, you bitch. Forgiveness and accountability are not enemies, and bereavement is not a lifetime permission. permission slip for bigotry. You bitch. That once again is it for, I believe that's it for people terrorizing black people. Now it is time for one of my subscribers' favorite. And once again, thank you very much for the extra 200 that I got like over the last 3 days. I don't know what else to say. 4 days. I'm still freaked out about it, but thank y'all. And I hope y'all like my content. But here we go, because the next story and the next group is just basically playing stupid games and winning stupid prizes. If you hear a click, you know what the hell that is. Anyways, Representative Al Green files new ass impeachment articles over immigration sweep, and we know who the ass I'm talking about. That huge one. I mean, that motherfucker. And that is one dump truck nobody wants. Texas Congressman Al Green has filed another article of impeachment against Drumpf, accusing him of allowing federal immigration agencies to operate as unaccountable, quota-driven paramilitary forces. Man, you have so many things. I think you should hit him with a whole bunch more than just one thing. The resolution alleges that ICE and Customs and Border Protection agents have assaulted civilians, carried out unjustified unalivings, concealed their identities, and avoided meaningful accountability. Green specifically names 4 people reportedly unalived by federal immigration agents. Can we not forget old boy Troy Porter? I think that's his name, Troy Porter, who was unalived on New Year's. U.S. citizen Renee Good and Alex Purdy in Minnesota. Lorenzo Salgado Arajo in Houston. John Sebastian Duran Guerrero in Maine. And once again, Troy Porter. Okay, Mr. Porter. Green accuses Drumpf of enabling both the deaths and alleged cover-ups while undermining the free speech, civil liberties. How about the fact that he's selling shit from the damn White House? He's trying to bulldoze the goddamn Kennedy Center since people don't want his nasty ass name on that shit. His allegations of false imprisonment of motherfuckers because of that stupid pool he decided to redo that nobody asked for. Yeah, how about those two? Anyways, he's also fucking up with civil liberties, judicial oversight, and the constitutional separations of powers. That's for sure. This is Green's 7th impeachment attempt across both Drumpf's administrations. At this point, Congressman Green has an impeachment template saved to his desktop titled, "Here We Go Again," final version number 7. However, let us manage expectations. The resolution was referred to the Republican-controlled House, where it needs a simple majority to pass. Green openly acknowledges that he does not currently have the votes. Drumpf has already been impeached twice, first over his dealings with Ukraine, and again following the January 6th attack, but the Senate's acquitted him both times, you dumbasses. So this effort is unlikely to remove him. Its immediate purpose is to force the alleged abuses into the congressional record and make lawmakers publicly decide whether they believe unidentified federal agents should be able to use deadly force without transparent investigation or consequences. I'm trying to immigrate myself because I'm under the impression this is not the United States anymore. It never was that great, but this shit right here is fucking Russia. The stupid game, or North Korea, the stupid game is operating immigration enforcement as though constitutional restraints are optional. Al Green is at least attempting to put a prize on that table, even if Congress refuses to award it. Because damn it, if they didn't win that bitch, boy did they. Moving on, because it gets even more ridiculous. Because that word has too many syllables. Target responds to claims of racist imagery and Halloween costume, but customers want to know how it made it to the fucking shelves. Who the hell greenlit this bitch? Target has apologized and removed a children's Halloween costume after customers said its imagery resembled racist blackface and Jim Crow era minstrel characters. The product was called the Kids Glows Under Black Lights Circus Clown Halloween costume. Why was that the only black kid? Huh? Why was that the only model as well, by the way? It featured an orange... Hold on. I could have sworn I heard a damn cat throwing up. I got a bulimic in my house. Anyways, Kids Glow Under Black... Yeah, blah, 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 blah. It featured an orange and black bodysuit, solid black gloves, a tiny top hat. You know, you could have had like you could have done with the green instead of the black and the orange, and you could have fucking gave them like a party hat or even a bent one. You didn't have to give a fucking top hat. And a dark mask with an enormous white tooth grin. That bitch right there. Y'all did that shit on purpose. Target then selected a young black boy to model it. Basically the only black boy that modeled, because apparently the design itself was not throwing enough red flags. They needed to arrange those flags into a fucking parade. Target admitted the costume was offensive, said it would never have entered its inventory, and acknowledged the particular harm caused to black customers. You bitches are bitter because we boycotted y'all asses. I still ain't been back. And business partners. The company says it is still investigating how the product was approved and what must change to prevent another incident. No, y'all gonna do it again. You're gonna try it again. First you went for the alphabet mafia. Now you going for us. You're gonna try it again. Another marginalized group is coming. What the fuck is coming up where you can fuck it up? What? You gonna have handmaids for Thanksgiving? Bitch. And that is the real question here. This costume did not sneak into Target wearing the disguise. Somebody designed that bitch. Somebody approved that fucker. Somebody manufactured that hell on earth. Somebody scheduled the photo shoot, selected a black child. I want to know why the child agreed for this shit. Reviewed the pictures, wrote the fucking product listing, and placed it online. This was not one oversight. It was an entire corporate relay race in which nobody dropped the racism baton. The controversy arrives after Target rolled back several DEI initiatives prompting boycotts from black consumers. I still ain't gone back. Critics say this incident demonstrates what can happen with diverse voices when diverse voices are missing from the decision-making room. So now you need to go ahead and get yourself somebody from the alphabet mafia and a black person, maybe the same person, doesn't matter, and have them be the loudest motherfucker in that room. Target deserves credit for removing it quickly, not really, but removing a product after black customers identify the problem is damage control. The real prize for this stupid game is explaining how so many paid professionals looked directly at this shit and saw absolutely nothing wrong, because it took some people to do this bullshit. That's all I can tell you. Moving on, because this one right here, and I just learned something new. Did y'all know that Felon Muskrat's name, when you scramble it, it means lone scum? So I'm just going to call him Lone Scum from now on. Anyways, Memphis wants to hit pause on Lone Scum's data center boom. Memphis officials are considering 1 year pause on a new data center after Lone Scum announced plans for a fourth facility, apparently before bothering to properly brief elected leaders representing the surrounding community. Scum's first XAI facility, Colossal One, opened near Boxtown, a historically black neighborhood founded by formerly enslaved people. You bitch. You mother. Why can't we get out of our country, huh? This motherfucker wasn't born here. Can't he get this bitch out of our country? Go back where you can. No, they don't even want your ass. Just go away. Get your ass to Mars, please. Fuck. Oh, I can't stand that bastard.
You ungrateful bitch.
You stupid too, you jackass. Oh.
Or here's another idea that's going to be very controversial. You could shut the fuck up.
I just need dude to shut the fuck up and get the fuck on. Anyways, the company later installed dozens of gas turbines to power the operation without initially obtaining required air permits, triggering protest and a lawsuit. Now lone scum's additional facilities carry the painfully modest names Macro Hard, Macro Harder, and Mini Hard. What the fuck? Hey, girl. Oh, I hate this dude. I really can't stand him. I don't hate him. I can't stand him. Because when your infrastructure could consume enough electricity to power millions of homes, naturally you name everything like a 13-year-old who discovered innuendo, you fucktard. Council member J.B. Smiley Jr. I can't believe that's that name. Council chairwoman Jana, I don't know how to say that middle name, Washington, and council member Jerry Green proposed a moratorium after learning about the latest project following Scum's public announcement. Y'all should have known this motherfucker was going to do this shit. You should have never had this bastard allowed him to do this shit in the first place. The pause would not shut down existing facilities or permanently ban new ones. It would temporarily stop additional construction while Memphis develops rules addressing noise, air pollution, massive water, and electricity demands. By the way, they shouldn't have to pay your fucking bill either. And infrastructure strains, utility costs, and buffer zones separating industrial facilities from residential neighborhoods. All 13 council members supported the measure on its first reading, but it must win 2 more votes before becoming law. The local chamber of commerce opposes the pause. It's commerce, you greedy bitch. Colossus 1 reportedly consumes more than 300 megawatts of electricity and millions of gallons of water for cooling. State Representative Justin Pearson estimates all 4 projects together would demand 2 gigawatts, enough electricity for roughly 1 million homes. Memphis is not rejecting technology. It is asking the revolutionary question: could we establish public protections before the millionaires plug in another electronic volcano beside a black neighborhood, please? Ooh, I hate these bastards so much. God dang it. I really can't stand it. Why can't he go back where he belongs? And moving on to more fuckery. Because why not? No shock there. Senatobia, Mississippi police chief allegedly caught calling black residents the N-word more than 12 times. I am not shocked. I fucking hate this country. Senatobia police chief Harold Vanderford allegedly used the N-word more than 12 times across 10 private text conversations dating back to last summer. That's a lot, including messages sent after he became chief. According to reporting cited by Black American Web, Vanderford described himself as having a racist moment using the slur while discussing a college basketball player, and reportedly wrote about bitch, shouting it loudly enough for his neighbors to hear. He also allegedly texted that he had almost assaulted a black man and a white woman using both racial slur and profanity. Now, one racist remark might be dismissed as ugly, lapse in judgment, not to me. But then more than 12 across 10 separate conversations is not a lapse. That is a subscription service, sir. The allegations are particularly, I hate that word, serious because Vanderford took office promising to rebuild trust between police and the community. Yeah, well, go fuck the police now. They also surface while his department faces scrutiny over the June unaliving of 1-year-old Cohen Wiley. Police say officers fired after the vehicle containing Cohen and his mother drove toward an officer. Family attorney Ben Crump says evidence indicates the bullets entered from the vehicle side. The pew-pewing remains under investigation. Internal complaints also accuse Sergeant Hunter Foster, what a horrible name, of making racially offensive comments towards colleagues shortly before Cohen's death. Foster remains on patrol. His attorney says he expects to be cleared. Oh, Lord. I expect y'all to move out that city personally. Vanderford has not publicly addressed the reported messages, and the mayor has answered media requests for comment. Has not answered. Okay, so they just deflecting. Okay, bitch. A police chief controls hiring, discipline, priorities, and departmental control. If these messages are authentic, the question is not merely whether Vanderford used racist language privately. It is whether the attitude influenced how an entire department policed black residents publicly. I said again, maybe y'all should move. Congratulations, Chief. The stupid game was leaving a written record. The prize is public scrutiny with receipts. You dumb bitch. Moving on. This one actually should have been in the what you call it. This one should have been over there in the terrorism. Fucking stupid admin removes Obama's portrait artist painting for being woke. Once again, stop fucking with that word. It does not mean all the shit y'all putting on it. It just means being attentive, knowing what the right hand is doing while the fucking left hand is behind. Is in front of you. Oh, I didn't say that right, but I don't care. The Drumpf administration has removed a painting by renowned black artist Kehinde Wiley from the U.S. Embassy in the Dominican Republic because officials considered it woke. The work, titled Young Artist After Sonya Massey's 1960s, depicts four young Dominican artists surrounded by Wiley's signature floral imagery. Really? I didn't see that. Okay. The federal government commissioned it in 2013 through the State Department's Art in Embassies program, which uses American artwork as a form of international cultural diplomacy. Aaron Scavino, I hate your name already. Drumpf's appointed director of the program reportedly called the painting very woke and aesthetically terrifying. Bitch ass. Ambassador Lee Campos celebrated its removal in a video, declaring that the embassy was moving away from globalist woke ideologies. Translation: for Dominican artists standing near flowers have apparently become a threat to national security. I told you this was supposed to be over in the terrorist area. The State Department is now consulting attorneys to determine whether it can sell the painting. Officials say selling it is the goal if the law permits, because removing publicly owned art based on ideological taste was apparently not dramatic enough. Now they want to place it on Facebook Marketplace. Bitch. Wiley received the State Department Medal of Arts in 2015 for advancing cultural diplomacy. He later painted Barack Obama's official portrait, now displayed at the Smithsonian's National Portrait Gallery. I hope they don't move that bitch. Fuckers get on my nerves. No evidence suggests that this artwork promotes a political policy. Woke is simply being used as an all-purpose label for black, diverse, or culturally inclusive work that someone in the administration dislikes. The stupid game is turning embassy decor into another front in the cultural war. The prize is making four people and a floral background look braver than the government's officials removing them. You bitch asses. Moving on, because I know y'all heard about this shit. And I don't know. I felt no ways about it. But I did kind of smirk a little. I'm not glad that the man is gone, but I am glad that, karma, bitch, karma. So Sonya Massey's unaliver, Sean Grayson, dies in prison at 32. You should have been working on your karma, sir. Former Illinois Sheriff Deputy Sean Grayson, who was convicted of unaliving Sonya Massey inside her home, has died in prison at 32. Grayson was serving a 20-year sentence for second-degree murder. He had stage 4 colon cancer and had been receiving treatment, but his recent request for medical release was denied. Although his former attorney confirmed the death, officials have not yet publicly confirmed the medical cause. In July 2024, 36-year-old Massey called 911 because she believed someone was prowling outside her Springfield area home. Grayson and another deputy responded. And I believe he has a paper trail of this bullshit too. So he wasn't even trying to think about maybe, gotta look at you well for those good deeds, Anyways, body camera footage showed Grayson directing Massey to move a pot of hot water after she said, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus." Grayson threatened to pew her. Massey apologized, ducked behind a counter, and Grayson fired 3 times, unaliving her. He later claimed he believed she intended to throw the water. She put it down, and then she ducked, you stupid ass. She called for protection. Grayson was fired and convicted in October 2025. Massey's killing sparked nationwide protests. A federal agreement requiring policing reforms in Sangamon County and the Sonya Massey Act, which strengthens Illinois' vetting requirements for law enforcement applicants. I think that should be nationwide, me personally. Her family's attorney emphasized that Grayson's death does not restore Sonya's life or erase the damage inflicted on those who loved her. Exactly. And that is the appropriate focus. This is not about celebrating cancer or a death in custody. It is about recognizing that Grayson's choices ended Sonya Massey's life, transformed his own, and forced reforms that should have existed before she ever needed to call 911. The prison sentence has ended early. Her family sentence has not. And that's the sad part about it, for real. All over it is just sad. But we're gonna keep moving because like I said to Magic, there are a whole lot of people fucking around and finding out. Moving on. Karen Attiah wins job back after Washington Post firing. I would have got the money and left, real talk. The Washington Post has been ordered to reinstate Black journalist Karen Attiah, I hope I'm saying that right, or Attiah, and compensate her for nearly a year of lost wages after an arbitrator ruled that the newspaper fired her without sufficient cause. Attiah was dismissed in September 2025 over 2 Blue Sky posts following the assassination of conservative activist and fucking podcaster. He's just a content creator, Charlie Kirk. She criticized what she considered performative mourning for a white man who had promoted violence and questioned America's tendency to offer white men sympathy and absolution after political bloodshed. The Post claimed her commentary damaged the newspaper's credibility and violated its social media standards. Attiah argued, I'm just going to call her by her first name, Karen, argued that discussing guns, race, political violence, and unequal political reactions was literally part of her job as an opinion writer. The arbitrator agreed, finding that the Post violated its labor agreement and lacked good and sufficient cause to terminate her. So the newspaper fired an opinion columnist for expressing an opinion and has now been professionally informed that this was, in fact, ridiculous. Sometimes when you try to kiss a fucking orangutan's ass, you end up getting your ass fucked over. That's all I can say about this. Let me see here now. Where was I? Let's see. Okay, here it goes. So Karen was reportedly the Post's last Black full-time opinion columnist when it fired her, which certainly added an interesting layer to the publication's decision to remove her voice from the room. The Post says it respects the arbitration process, while Karen has indicated that she is willing to return. Girl, why? That's all I want to know. Why? Her reinstatement does not erase the disruption to her career, but it establishes an important principle. Employers cannot disguise political discomfort as workplace misconduct simply because a Black journalist's analysis makes powerful people uncomfortable. Stupid Game was punishing her for doing her job. The prize is giving the job back plus a check. I don't know why she would come back, honestly. I would go to like one of the adversaries, real talk. But are there any others? Since everybody apparently believes in monopolies nowadays, I don't know what to say. But anyways, we're going to move on because I definitely was going to report about this shit when I saw it. And I'm so glad somebody reported it too. Viral Texas Roadhouse food tampering claim retracted as alleged hoax. I don't give a fuck. I'm not going there. A terrifying viral claim that white restaurant workers are deliberately contaminating Black customers' food now appears to be an online hoax. Fuck that. I'm not going. The original post alleged that roughly 400,000 white servers belong to a private Facebook group where their members discuss licking their fingers, touching food, and spitting on rolls served to black customers. Texas Roadhouse and Logan's Roadhouse were specifically named. However, nobody produced verified screenshots of the alleged group, identified a participating employee, named a restaurant location, or documented a confirmed food tampering incident. I don't give a fuck. One social media user who amplified the accusation later apologized, saying she had been sick, doom scrolling, and shared it without conducting further research. She then called the story a hoax. Ma'am, I was fighting for my life, and doom scrolling is an explanation, but it is not fact-checking department. Texas Roadhouse called the allegation completely unfounded. The company says its investigation, which includes a third-party firm, has found no credible evidence of food tampering. You know what would make me trust y'all? If I can see in the damn kitchen. I need y'all to open up that wall and let us see them cook the damn food so everybody can see these motherfuckers ain't doing that shit. Logan's Roadhouse had not publicly responded when the article was published. Now, racist mistreatment in restaurants is real, and that history explains why they claim frightened black diners so quickly. But spreading an unverified story does not protect us. It creates panic, damages innocent workers, and makes genuine reports easier to dismiss. The stupid game. Okay, grief. The stupid game was broadcasting an explosive accusation before verifying a single detail. The prize is a retraction traveling at 5 miles per hour, while the original lie is already halfway around the internet. For now, this claim is unsupported, not established fact, okay? So if you want to take your chances, go for it. I personally want to wait until they decide to redesign their kitchen so I can see every fucking body, okay? Because that might have gave somebody a fucking idea. I'm just saying. Sorry, but I'm scared now. I'm still scared. What you want me to do? Anyways, that is it for playing stupid games, winning stupid prizes. It is now time for first I'm gonna do my commercial. If you like what I'm doing, if you don't like what I'm doing, you have a suggestion, not something stupid. I mean, if you didn't watch the whole fucking thing and you gonna say something stupid, I'm deleting your shit, okay? Look at the bottom. I'm very biased. I told you, don't do it. Don't think I won't. I'll snatch that shit so quick. Anyways, if you with me, if you're still rocking with me, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Without you, I wouldn't actually be camming up at all. Here goes my commercial. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'm looking for my little subscribe thing because I can't find that motherfucker nowhere. Where did I put it? Oh, there it is. Please subscribe, and I'll be right back.
It's just me and the fam. 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 Yeah. It's just me and the fam. See my little Tay say that's my girl, that's my mascot. Little ones go for hours and some hours till we pass out. See, stay inside the house, turned up with the racks out. Stay inside the house, turn.
I know what you know how this is. It's always a freaking thing.
Yo, there's so many, it's so many, it's so many lies. Look in my eyes, they know I'm the truth. Knocking them down every time I step in the booth. We ain't got a lie, they know the vibe. We live in this group. Young conscious, shoot my life a movie. I live in a spook. Ain't no sticking around. I'm on the move. I'm checking the dudes. It's only us two, so you know we copping that coupe. We on the roof, smoking dope. Look at the view. Used to chill on the stoop. Now we out here breaking the note. That ain't shit.
Behind the Black Panther icon, first comprehensive family history reviews new side of Huey Newton. As the Black Panther Party approaches its 60th anniversary, a new book examines Huey P. Newton through a perspective often missing from history, the family that shaped him before he became a revolutionary icon. Retired judge and author Lise Perlman's Huey P. Newton's family, Roots of a Revolutionary Self-Deletion, is described as the first comprehensive history of the new Newton family. The title references Newton's 1973 autobiography, Revolutionary Self-Deletion, not his cause of death. Newton was fatally pew-pewed in Oakland in 1989, which is a fucking shame. Using archival research and interviews with surviving relatives, Perlman traces the Newton family's migration from the segregated South to Oakland during the Great Migration. She examines how Newton's parents, siblings, and racial environment and close-knit upbringing influenced his commitment to Black empowerment. Newton and Bobby Seale founded the Black Panther Party in Oakland in October 1966. The organization became famous for armed patrols monitoring police, but its community work also included free breakfast programs, health clinics, political education, and sickle cell anemia testing. And yes, Newton's legacy is complicated. He was a brilliant political thinker and a symbol of Black resistance, but he also struggled with addiction, which you motherfuckers put in that damn neighborhood, faced serious criminal allegations, and experienced a painful personal decline. The book does not appear interested in polishing him into a flawless superhero or reducing him to his failures. It asks how a child from one Black family became an international revolutionary. Newton's brother Melvin, who wrote the foreword, says the book offers a view of Huey and their family never previously shared, because history does not begin when the camera arrives. Before Huey Newton became an icon, he was somebody's youngest brother. And that story helped create the revolutionary the world remembers. Moving on, because yeah, we still got one more. And then we're going to go look at some inventions that we put some flavor on. History of Black Business Month explained. August is National Black Business Month, an annual observance dedicated to celebrating Black entrepreneurs while drawing attention to the barriers Black-owned companies still face. Black Business Month was created in 2004 by engineer and entrepreneur Frederick E. Jordan and publisher and historian John William Templeton. Their goal was not simply to encourage Black people to shop Black for 31 days. They wanted to influence public policy and expand economic opportunity and address the unequal access to loans, contracts, capital, and institutional support experienced by Black business owners. Jordan understood those barriers personally. When he launched his engineering firm in 1969, he struggled to secure the financial backing necessary to grow it. His company eventually expanded internationally, but he never forgot how difficult it was to get through a door that appeared to be locked specifically when Black people approached it. Black entrepreneurship, of course, did not begin in 2004. Free and enslaved Black Americans operated businesses as early as the 1700s. After emancipation, Black-owned enterprises expanded dramatically, with the period from approximately 1900s through the 1930s, often called a golden age of Black entrepreneurship. One factual correction to the article: Booker T. Washington founded the National Negro Business League in 1900, not 1915. The organization connected Black entrepreneurs nationwide and promoted economic independence during segregation. By the early 2000s, approximately 1.2 million Black-owned businesses were generating more than $150 billion in revenue. So Black Business Month is both celebration and strategy. Support Black businesses, yes, but also examine whether banks, governments, and corporations are giving those businesses fair access to money and opportunity. Because buying a t-shirt in August is helpful. Fixing the system that denied the owner a business loan is economic justice. That's all I got to say about that. And that is it for that one. I am now going to move you on to my new segment, which is called Black Inventions and Black flavor. You know, we sometimes we don't invent shit. Sometimes we just improve shit. Okay, so let's check that out. Give me just a moment so I can pull that up. And if you can see me and now you can understand, yeah, I'm a Black woman.
Yes.
All right. So James Fortin from 1766 to 1842. Today's black inventor is James Fortin, a man who transformed his knowledge of the sea into innovation, wealth, and political power during America's earliest years. Fortin was born free in Philadelphia in 1766. At only 14, he served aboard the American privateer Loyal Louis during the Revolutionary War. After being captured and surviving imprisonment aboard a British prison ship, he eventually returned home and apprenticed under sailmaker Robert Bridges. But Fortin did more than manufacture existing sails. Historical sources credit him with developing an improved sail and a sail handling apparatus that helped ships maneuver more efficiently, maintain speed, and raise or lower heavy sails more safely. The exact technical design and creation dates have not survived. Most sources placed his innovation around the late 1790s or early 1800s, and no verified patent has been found. So we will give Fortin his flowers without pretending his historical record contains blueprints. It does not. In 1798, Fortin took control of Bridges' sail loft and developed it into one of Philadelphia's most successful maritime businesses. He employed dozens of black and white workers and became one of the wealthiest black Americans of his era. Then he used that wealth for more than personal comfort. Fortin financed abolitionist causes, supported education and civil rights, opposed efforts to force free black Americans out of the country, and helped fund William Lloyd Garrison's anti-slavery newspaper, The Liberator. James Fortin's story matters because black innovation did not suddenly begin after emancipation. Black craftspeople were already improving American transportation and industry while the United States was still figuring out how to become a country. He did not merely make sails. He built influence and used it to push black Americans forward. And that is something we need to talk on. All right. So that's your invention. Okay. He didn't invent it, but he improved that bitch for real and made a lot of people a little bit more safer. How about that? All right. So anyways, let me take that down and we're about to go ahead and get into our culture moment. Give me just a moment so I can pull it up because I got about 2 stories hitting that one. There it is. Let's see it. So, National Breastfeeding Month. Why black mothers need more support. Yeah, it's culture. August is National Breastfeeding Month as well, but supporting black mothers requires more than telling them that breast is best and then sending them home with a pamphlet and a prayer. Breastfeeding can provide nutritional and immune protection for babies while offering health benefits to mothers. This is because black infants are more than twice as likely to die before their first birthday, and black babies experience disproportionately high rates of premature birth and low birth weight. Yet, black mothers face an entire wall of obstacles: systemic racism, unequal healthcare access, provider bias, early formula supplementation, too few culturally competent lactation specialists, limited community guidance, inadequate paid leave, inflexible hourly jobs, and workplaces without sufficient pumping time, privacy, or clean facilities. I actually had a job. Thermo Fisher had a place where you could breastfeed your kids, but we didn't have anybody who was breastfeeding. This disparity also has a painful history. During slavery, black women were frequently forced to nurse enslavers' children while being separated from or denied the ability to properly feed their own babies. That exploitation helped create stigma and complicated attitudes towards breastfeeding across generations. For mothers who choose to breastfeed, the article provides several basics. Newborns generally nurse 8 to 12 times within 24 hours. Damn! Signs that a baby may be receiving enough milk include regular feeding, appearing satisfied afterward, producing enough wet and dirty diapers, and gaining weight. Colostrum, the thick yellowish milk produced first, is concentrated with nutrients and immune components. Mature milk may appear thinner, but that does not make it nutritionally inferior. Some early tenderness can occur, but severe or persistent pain is not something mothers should simply endure. It may indicate a poor latch or another problem requiring help from a qualified lactation professional. And breastfeeding remains a personal decision. Mothers who use formulas are not failures, and mothers who want to breastfeed should not be defeated by an unsupportive system. I was told I couldn't drink breast milk because my mother was too drunk. I'm just saying. The real cultural change is not pressuring Black women. It is providing culturally responsive care, community support, and paid leave. Decent workplace accommodations as well, so they have an actual choice. All right. Moving on, because we're going to talk about the other spectrum. We went to the old spectrum, now we're going to the young spectrum. Not trying to be grown. The kid musicians building tween culture. Those are some weird ass groups. I'm telling you, those tweens are weirdos. I was a weirdo. A new generation of young Black musicians is creating something children have increasingly been denied. Popular music that actually allows them to behave like children. The article's complete featured lineup includes Young Rado, Nova Star, and Tatum Galbraith, better known as Tatum Takeover. The young artists are producing a hip-hop influenced by their real lives, school, family, friendships, confidence, toys, crushes, and childhood ambitions. Their work gives Black tweens the opportunity to see themselves in music without copying adult lyrics about sex, drugs, violence, or relationships they are nowhere near old enough to understand. Young Rado, a 9-year-old artist from Chicago, has gained attention for his music, encouraging children to succeed in school, respect their parents, and pursue their dreams. Nova Star has built an enormous online audience, while Tatum Takeover has become known for her, thank God it's a girl, personality, freestyles, and child-centered performances. And none of this means children's music must sound like somebody's trap nursery rhyme inside an elevator. Oh God, I hate those. These artists are making real hip-hop with current production style and personality, just without forcing little kids to cosplay somebody's 37-year-old toxic relationship. Matters because tween culture once had a clearer identity. Young people had age-appropriate artists, magazines, television, gathering spaces designed specifically for them. Social media has increasingly collapsed childhood and adulthood into the same algorithm. These performers are pushing in the opposite direction. They are proving that Black children can be talented, fashionable, entertaining, and commercially successful without being prematurely sexualized or packaged as miniature adults. They are not trying to be grown. They are making childhood look exciting again. And honestly, that may be more culturally disruptive than anything these adults out here are releasing, for real, because I'm so sick of this shit. I am. Babies should not be cussing. In my opinion, they should not be cussing. Now, you might disagree, but fuck. That's how I feel anyways. Moving on, because we got a business news as well, because I'm trying to get this well-rounded experience, because I'm not doing this again until Sunday. Anyways, here we go. New NFIB industry surveys show boost in small business optimism. A new National Federation of Independent Business survey suggests small business owners became more optimistic between April and July, but optimism is not the same as everybody suddenly swimming through money like Scrooge McDuck. The National Small Business Optimism Index reached 99.8 in July. Confidence increased across construction, manufacturing, retail, and services, but conditions varied sharply by industry. Here's the complete breakdown. Construction, 53% reported unfilled jobs, the highest among all industries. Hiring plans rose, but earnings weakened to a net negative 19%. Sorry. Manufacturing, the industry optimism score jumped 6.3 points to 104.3, the strongest result in the industry in the survey. Manufacturers also reported better earnings, sales expectations, and hiring plans. Retail optimism rose only slightly to 94.8, leaving retailers the least confident group. Expected sales dropped sharply, although job openings increased. Services expected for better production conditions rose 13 points, the survey's largest improvement. However, sales expectations and hiring plans both declined. Supply chain, 63% of all owners said disruption affected them. Wholesale businesses reported the greatest impact at 84%, while finance reported at least 25%. Overall business health, 69% rated their companies as excellent or good, up 2 points since April. Industry differences, professional services owners reported the strongest business health at 80%. Transportation ranked lowest at 59%. I wonder why. Followed by manufacturing at 60%. So the message is cautiously positive. Owners feel better about the future, especially manufacturing and construction, but they still cannot reliably find qualified workers, obtain materials, or guarantee stronger sales. So let's see how long this will last. For Black and small business owners, the optimism should also be viewed through unequal access to credit and capital. Feeling hopeful is wonderful. Hope, unfortunately, has never approved a business loan, delivered missing inventory, or covered payroll on Friday. The economy may be improving for some businesses, but Main Street is not celebrating yet. It is cautiously peeking through the blinds. All right, we ain't got much of that. So if you're seeing me, yeah, I am a VTuber, but I had a promise. If I hit 100, I would cam up. You're going to see me twice because I hit 100 twice during freaking 3 days, and I'm freaked out about it. But a promise is a promise. So let's go into news on education. We're almost done because I'm not staying around. I'm kind of hungry for once. Opinion America must teach children to read, not track their futures. Man, I told y'all, the teacher's job is not the only job when it comes to teaching kids. Some of it is yours too. You're supposed to teach kids at home. Fuck. Education Secretary Idiot McMahon is facing backlash after arguing that schools should be guiding children towards skilled trade career paths as early as elementary school. You bitch. Shut the fuck up. Man, just because you rich and your kids ain't got to worry about, how dare you knock their potential down to fucking trade? Ain't nothing wrong with trade, but let the children choose. Now, let's be clear. America desperately needs electricians, plumbers, HVAC technicians, and other skilled professionals. Those careers are valuable, necessary, and can pay extremely well. I ain't saying nothing wrong with it. I told you, skilled trade is very good. The problem is deciding little Keisha's entire future while she is still learning that glue is not a beverage. I have met those people. I used to just like it to dry on my hand and peel it off. These motherfuckers ate that shit. In this opinion piece, Amicia Cross argues that introducing children to difficult careers is healthy. Different careers is healthy, but tracking them toward a specific future before they have discovered their abilities is something else entirely. The deeper problem is that many American children are already struggling with basic literacy. Cross says that the country needs a national education emergency plan focused on making sure children can actually read, write, think critically, and explore their potential. Once again, I am willing to homeschool. And historically, academic tracking has not treated every child equally. Black children, disabled students, and children from low-income families are often underestimated, disciplined more harshly, or pushed away from advanced opportunities. So yes, Let elementary students learn how electricity works. Let them build things, code things, grow things, and explore careers. But first grade should be about expanding possibilities, not handing a 6-year-old a career sentence because somebody glanced at a test score. Teach children the fundamentals, show them an available road, every available road, then let them decide which one they want to travel, okay? And shit, while they're even adults be switching up on that shit. You ignorant bitch. I can't stand her. I can't stand her. I don't know why they fucking put her in charge. This bitch is dismantling your fucking education. Y'all voted for this bullshit. I'm trying to immigrate. Fuck this. I'm going to Canada. Morehouse Atrium Health commits $700 million for a new hospital on Metropolitan Parkway. That is grammatically wrong. Commits. Morehouse School of Medicine and Atrium Health have received approval to move forward with a new teaching hospital at 675 Metropolitan Parkway in Southwest Atlanta. Atrium Health is committing more than $700 million to the hospital and its surrounding healthcare network. Atlanta is also expected to contribute over $115 million for equipment, site education preparation, and road and pedestrian improvement. And this is not some decorative urgent care center with 2 band-aids and a prayer. The hospital is expected to open with approximately 50 beds, but could eventually expand beyond 700. Plans include a 24-hour emergency department. Oh, Lord, that's horrible. Level 3 trauma care, obstetric, for the kids, a neonatal intensive care unit, adult critical care, advanced imaging, cardiac procedures, and other specialty services. Obstetrics. Okay. Additional clinics would provide primary, urgent, virtual, and community-based care throughout Central and South Fulton County. That matters because Atlanta Medical Center and Atlanta Medical Center South both closed in 2022, leaving residents traveling farther from emergency treatment and specialists. Fulton County is also reportedly short nearly 246 primary care providers. Because this will be a teaching school, the partnership could also strengthen Morehouse's pipeline of Black doctors and other healthcare professionals while treating communities that have been medically neglected for years. At a full development, the project is estimated to support 5,400 construction jobs, 4,800 permanent jobs, and approximately $1.25 million in annual economic activity. That sounds good. There is no announced opening date, and parts of the plan still depend on agreements with Fulton County. But if completed as promised, this education, healthcare, and Black economic developing shares the same address. Ooh, that would be so nice. And that is it. That is it for your business news. Now I'm gonna go ahead and move on to, and if you're curious, this is a Deadpool shirt. I love Deadpool, so. Anyways, and now here's some good news, especially for Gary. I have been worried about them. Here you go. Where's my good news? There it is. Trey the Truth steps in to help Gary residents after storms leave thousands without power. While utility executives were apparently searching the building for an extension cord, rapper and activist Trey the Truth traveled to Gary, Indiana to help residents recovering from destructive storms and prolonged power outages. The August 11th storm brought winds approaching 100 miles per hour, damaging homes, knocking down trees, and initially cutting electricity to more than 370,000 customers. This number keeps changing. Across northern Indiana. Nearly 2 weeks later, approximately 8,600 people reportedly remained without power. That's too many. On August 23rd, Trey arrived with his relief gang organization, not just to pose beside a case of water and disappear, but to work. The team distributed food, cleaning supplies, and other necessities to affected families. They also provided hands-on assistance, clearing fallen trees from homes and streets as residents began dealing with the storm's long-term damage. Oh, the rotten food. Gary native Freddie Gibbs also used his platform to draw national attention to the crisis, arguing that the predominantly black cities struggles existed long before this particular storm. Trey, the Truth, has spent years responding to hurricanes, floods, and community emergencies. His work in Gary is another reminder that mutual aid is often what keeps families afloat, while corporations, politicians, and government agencies are still holding meetings about scheduling another meeting. That is good news with work boots on. People using their resources, influence, and actual hands to help a community when it needs them. Once again, mutual freaking aid. Can we get some of that, please? Anyways, that's it for good news. Now we're going to go ahead and move on to celebrity news. But before I do that, once again, if you like what I'm doing, if you don't like what I'm doing, that's cool. Just tell me what I could change and I'll try to change it. Don't get used to seeing my face because I'm a VTuber. I just promise to do this shit whenever I hit 100. I'm so scared. Anyways, please check my stuff out. Like, share, subscribe. And right now I'm about to go ahead and promo. This is a black-owned, woman-owned business. If you like CBD and your lips popping, let's go check out this company, CBD Honey Lips. You can find her on Threads, Twitch, and Instagram.
It's just me and the fam. 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 Yeah, yeah. It's just me and the fam. See my little tape, say that's my girl, that's my mascot. No one's gone for hours and some hours till we pass out. Stay inside the house, turned up with the racks out. Stay inside the house, turned.
All right, so Beyonce donates $1 million to Columbia earthquake relief as recovery efforts continue. So Beyonce is personally donating $1 million to organizations providing emergency relief after a devastating magnitude 7.4 earthquake struck Western Colombia on August 10th. The earthquake's epicenter was near San Jose del Palmar in the Choco region. According to the latest figures cited in the report, at least 331 people were killed, 4,439 were injured, and 240 remain missing. Homes, hospitals, roads, and other critical infrastructure were destroyed or severely damaged. Parkwood Entertainment says Beyonce's contributions will help provide food and housing supplies to some of the hardest hit communities. The company also directed people wanting to help toward Food for the Poor and World Central Kitchen. And yes, $1 million is a tiny slice of Beyonce's fortune, but it is also $1 million more than people criticizing from their couches have sent. Perspective, beloved. Colombian singer Juanes and his Mi Sangre Foundation have also joined a campaign seeking approximately $5 million. If you're a singer, why don't you have that? For long-term housing reconstruction. This is not Beyonce's first major disaster relief contribution. Her Bay Good Foundation committed $2.5 million to families affected by the 2025 Los Angeles wildfires, and she previously supported recovery efforts following Hurricane Harvey in Houston. Celebrity charity should never replace government responsibility, but when the money reaches families needing food and shelter, we can acknowledge the good without turning it into worship service, okay? Moving on, because apparently they fucking with one of the old heads, Shaka Khan, and she ain't playing with y'all. Moving on, where's my damn thing? Okay, here we go.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Shaka Khan sets the record straight on her sexuality in a hilariously blunt new interview. So Shaka Khan is 73 years old, has spent more than 5 decades in the music industry, and apparently still has to explain that strangers are not entitled to know who is or who is not in her bedroom. During an interview with The Observer, Khan was described as a straight icon for queer visibility. She immediately interrupted and asked what the straight part meant. When the interviewer clarified that they meant heterosexual, Shaka essentially responded, "How do you know what the hell I am?" She explained that she has never publicly shared part of her life because it is nobody's business but hers. Khan did not label her sexuality. She rejected the interview's assumption. Those are two different things. So everybody may return the detective board and red string to the closet, please. Khan added that she supports everybody and does not care who someone sleeps with as long as that person's heart is in the right place. She also shut down the endlessly repeated question about whether she slept with Prince. Khan said their relationship was not romantic and criticized the suggestion that women in music must either be singers or somebody's sexual partner. Prince was her friend, collaborator, and someone she credits with helping her during struggles with drugs and the music industry. And she looks great for her age, I'm telling you. In conclusion, Shaka Khan loves everybody, owes us no label, did not sleep with Prince, and would like the public to get out of her satin line business. I didn't know she had satin. Well, all right. And that is it for your celebrity news. I had too many stories in the headlines and in the fuck around. So, yeah, we're going straight into health. And after that, we're going into animals trying to take over. I got about 2 of those. So there's 4 stories and we are done. All right. So here we go. Where the hell is it? I think it's this one. The Psychiatric Green Book, a roadmap to care, because I'm very NAMI pro. That is for people, mental, yeah. The Black Emotional and Mental Health Collective, or BEAM, has released a first of its kind guide designed to help Black families navigate psychiatric emergencies before everybody is frightened, overwhelmed, and expected to understand 50 pages of legal paperwork. What I wish my people had known, the Psychiatric Green Book was created by Yolo Akili Robinson and mental health advocate Kalichi, Ubozo, with input from psychiatric survivors, caregivers, psychiatrists, disability rights organizations, and advocates. Inspired by Victor Hugo's Green Negro Motorist Green Book, the guide helps families recognize dangers and understand their options within a psychiatric system where Black patients are disproportionately subjected to involuntary hospitalization. It includes the entire toolkit families may need: an explanation of psychiatric holds, state-specific legal information, state step-by-step crisis guidance, psychiatric advance directive instructions, checklists for before, during, and after hospitalization, advice for advocating for a loved one, testimony from survivors and caregivers, guidance for imagining safer community-based care. Imaging, yes, because commitment laws differ across the country. This first edition focuses specifically on California and Georgia. Additional state editions are planned. The psychiatric hold checklists are available free on Beam's website. The complete digital book is offered on a pay-what-you-can basis with a suggested donation of $5, while the 140-page paper book costs $15. Mental health care should help people, not leave Black families wondering whether calling for assistance could make everything worse. Until the system becomes safer, having a map may help families protect their loved ones while demanding the care they deserve. Moving on, like I said, we ain't gonna be here all night. Where the 2 systems? I always forget that shit. Moving on. Maryland declares measles outbreak in 3 counties. And while I'm at it, also on the callbacks, blueberries. Be careful. Blueberries are dangerous now. Moving on. So Maryland has declared measles outbreaks in St. Mary's, Carroll, and Cecil counties after confirming a wave of infectious among unvaccinated residents. As of August 24th, Maryland has recorded 31 measles cases in 2026, compared with only 3 during all of 2025. 27 cases have been confirmed since July 15th. 13 in St. Mary's County, 8 in Carroll County, 5 in Cecil County, 1 in Charles County. According to the Maryland Department of Health, all 27 of those patients were unvaccinated. Y'all listen to Wormhead for real? Oh, that's messed up. Officials say there is currently no evidence of widespread community transmission, and the risk remains low for people who are fully vaccinated. I just went and got my flu shot. Measles is not simply an inconvenient rash from the olden days. It is one of the most contagious diseases in the world and can cause pneumonia, brain swelling, hospitalization, and death. Did you know that? Symptoms usually begin with a high fever, cough, runny nose, and red or watery eyes. My eyes are pink, not red, and it's because of something else. A rash typically appears later, beginning around the face before spreading down the body. If you develop symptoms or believe you were exposed, call your healthcare provider before walking into a clinic or emergency room. Stay away from the school, work, childcare, and public spaces so you do not accidentally turn one infection into a group project, please. The 2-dose MMR vaccine provides the strongest protection. Maryland also offers free recommended vaccinations to eligible uninsured and underinsured residents through participating health centers. Measles were declared eliminated in the United States in 2000. Watching it return because misinformation received a Wi-Fi connection is beyond exhausting. I can't believe y'all actually listen to Wormhead. That's the shit for me. That's the shit I don't understand. But anyways, that is it for your health. It is now time for animals trying to take over. I need y'all. I got videos for both of these things because y'all need to see this shit. This is not right. So let's go ahead and get into that because I want to go eat. My tummy just told me it was hungry and I usually ignore it, but it's loud today. So yeah. Where the hell is my damn thing? And if you're not used to seeing my real face, proof, I'm a black woman. Look at me, black girl. God dang it. Asshole literally said I wasn't black. I'm just sitting up there like, are you serious? Where's my news clip? Shit. I got a news clip for this. Give me a second. I got to find it. There it is up there. Pay attention. You see that? That's a wallaby. That's a baby. That's a midget. That's a midget kangaroo, in my opinion. Guess where they are? Because it's not down under. All right, so wallaby caught on camera in the middle of English town. I did not know they had towns. Residents of Lickskird, England, received an unexpected visitor from when a wallaby was spotted hopping through the middle of town because apparently Australia's animals have begun expanding internationally, y'all. Pasty shop owner Scott Weller was driving to work shortly before 6 a.m. when he initially thought the animal moving along the Dean Street was a dog. Then it started hopping, and the morning commute became National Geographic Cornwall edition. Weller followed slowly because cars were behind him, and he feared the animal might be hit. When the wallaby moved onto the sidewalk, that's a smart-ass wallaby, he pulled alongside and told it, "You're not from around here, are you?" Excellent detective work, Scott. The wallaby then disappeared down the side street toward the local co-op, presumably to purchase snacks and continue avoiding immigration officials. Weller reported the animal to police who searched the area but could not locate it. Other residents reportedly spotted it near a leisure center and school playing fields over the weekend. Authorities have not identified its owner or explained where it came from. However, wallabies have survived in parts of Britain after escaping zoos or private collections. Who the fuck has a private collection? With some proving extremely difficult to capture. So, as a publication, this tiny kangaroo cousin remained at large, hopping through Cornwall like it had appointments and no time for questions. So, yeah, please don't hit it, don't eat it, and somebody find out who the hell has money for a collection. God dang. And now, here's another video.
Well, here in SoCal, we see coyotes and bears pretty often, especially in the foothill neighborhoods, but we're pretty sure we've never seen this. Take a look at this. A bear crossing paths with two coyotes. This was in Tarzana, just a couple miles from busy Ventura Boulevard and the 101 freeway. A homeowner captured it on his Ring camera. Now, you might think the bear would have the advantage here, but one of the coyotes was very small, so we're guessing the other was Mom, and she took charge.
The bigger coyote was really trying to keep the bear away from the little one. And several times it went toward the bear just to kind of protect the little one, you know. I just thought, oh my God, I can't wait to show us to somebody.
He says even after the bear got the message and trotted off, the coyote charged a few more times to make sure the bear kept its distance and kept on walking.
Well, damn. Now, I told you, you can't, you corner somebody, watch what happened. You get mollywopped. So, coyote chases bear away from Los Angeles home. A homeowner's security camera in Tarzana, Los Angeles, of all names, captured a black bear crossing paths with two coyotes, and somehow the bear was the one that decided it had to somewhere else to be. Richard Hurwitz's Ring camera recorded the animals entering his driveway early Monday morning. I would be moving on Tuesday. The larger coyote, believed to be the smaller animal's mother, reportedly confronted the bear and positioned herself between the two. The bear eventually began trotting away, but Mama continued to fucking charge that motherfucker. And that's exactly what you do when motherfuckers approach your baby. Hurwitz has lived in the area for 41 years and said he had seen plenty of coyotes, but never a bear. Wildlife officials believe Southern California's extreme heat may be pushing more animals into residential neighborhoods searching for water, shade, and easy food. Residents are being advised not to feed wildlife and to secure garbage, pet food, fallen fruit, and crawl spaces and areas beneath your deck. Thankfully, neither animal was reported injured. The bear left the scene. The coyotes stayed together, and Mama Coyote officially demonstrated that size means absolutely nothing when somebody comes way too close to your child. Even the bear said, "You know what? My apologies, ma'am." And that's it for animals taking over. Real talk, I think they both were out there trying to scout for houses. One day we're going to get taken over because we have an orangutan in the White House. I'm just letting y'all know. But that is it for the news. Thank y'all so very much again for getting me to this number. I am terrified to look again because that might mean I have to put makeup on again, because I already have to put on makeup on Sunday because I got 200. So thank you. I love y'all, but you know, a promise is a promise. But I'm still nervous. So thank y'all. Have a good night. Take care of yourselves. And without y'all, I would be nothing. So let's go on and fuck off somewhere together, okay? Because I need to go eat. Bye.
I can't stay. No, I always gotta go. Playing house to stay home with my soul on the road. I can't stay. No, I always gotta go. Playing house to stay home with my soul on the road.